What's up, everybody? Shawn here with another Live to Roll. Another awesome Tuesday for you guys. Sorry about the delay, having a few technical difficulties again, but we are rolling. So let's get into our intros. I am Shawn. I'm a C5, C6 quadriplegic from a snowboarding accident. Tomorrow will be 20 years, actually. Tomorrow's my
Woohoo!
life anniversary day. So coming up, 20 years tomorrow. Um, Tom, you want to take it away?
Sure. What's up, everybody? Tom Conaway, C6B quadriplegic for the last 26 glorious years. Coming at you from Southern California. Talking about milestones today, baby. Bobby, take it away.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tom. Hey, yeah, milestones, big one. So, congratulations, Shawn. Tomorrow just seemed like yesterday. I'm Bobby Rohan, C5, C6, coming from you at Orange County, California. Loving it down here. And we have a guest. He's not like really a guest because he's one of my co hosts on
I
Rolling
don't
Over.
recognize this guy. Get him out of here.
Yeah, I know, but I was shocked when we had to invite him onto this show too. So, but my good friend Robert Soto, what's up, Robert?
Hey, how you guys doing? Thanks for having me
all
on
of all
today.
of our good friends. We
Yeah,
are very fond of Robert Soto and
thank
have
you.
lots and lots of love for him.
Thank
Appreciate
you
you
very, thank you
joining
very
our main
much.
show too. Because you do such a great job with those ad reads on Rolling Over the Hill and stuff, man. I gotta tell you, dude, like you're good. You got that voice. Like,
I know. You're just
I feel it. I feel it.
Maybe I should get a career going. But anyway, my
Hey,
name is Robert
it's
Soto.
never too late.
T12 spinal cord injury. Uh, Coming up on 50 years in the
yep.
chair, 70 years of age coming up. So that's my milestone now,
Yeah.
There's no way you're 70 years old.
dude. 1954. I got my actual dates are March 10th, 1974 is my injury date. 2 weeks later was my 20th birthday, and it was March 29th, 1954. So
What's
50
the
years,
secret to
brother.
aging so gracefully? Becoming a paraplegic? Gosh darn it,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. I played
Like,
hard. I played hard there for a while, and that's why I can't do it now. You know.
wow. Well, you look really amazing. You had me
Thank
fooled.
you.
I would not have guessed 70.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd like to say 50 even, and that sounds good to me.
yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Um,
Like that youngster
Johnny boy.
Bobby, 50.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all have some major milestones and things. Like Bobby just hit his 20-year anniversary with Married to Ellen, and that's incredible. Tom, I mean, dude, you just turned 30 not too long ago. You got your master's a little bit before
30,
that.
31, my dude.
Now you're 31. I'm
31, my
saying you're
dude.
you're into your 30s now, bro. But I'm just saying, like, that was a
Eh,
big one for
Way
life.
into your
We've all
30s.
we've all been hitting those things, so it's just something I thought would be fun and cool to talk about for us, especially with my life date coming up and Robert's next month coming up, or a little over a month, I guess. But still
Yeah,
coming up soon. That's such a big
yeah, I
one.
got mine next month too. 35.
And so yeah, Bobby's
Wow.
got his, and it's just thought it would be cool just to talk about and share some of the stuff you guys, um, some of our other milestones and things in life, because it's important to look back, I feel like, and kind of be able to celebrate yourself, celebrate things that you've done, um, you know, and maybe some things weren't the best, but it's good to acknowledge that and learn, grow from any mistakes or things you may have also done. or
Yeah,
You
it
know,
is. It is if you look back, and if we all have that story, but the frustrations and just getting pissed off and stuff like that. But we're survivors. For all four of us are here, no matter how many years, because it's not easy, and no one understands it or knows it other than us. It is. I look back now. I wouldn't do it over again because it's a hassle, man. I got through it, and I'm happy still, with a smile on my face. But it is. It was hard for me. It was, especially with trying to have a career and an SCI, and me trying to stay in the hunt there, because you need to show them that you can do the job.
yeah. Yeah, I think
you
I'd
know,
go back in time and change a couple things around too if I had the old magical time machine. I think it'd be interested to know what it'd be like to be running around for the last 26 years. Um, but there is no time machine and there is no going back. I am very grateful and thankful for all of the life experiences I've had and will continue to have, because this shit is not easy. It's pretty hard. It can be a bad beat a lot of the time, but it's better than being dead. There's a lot of worse situations to, um, think about, uh, that some people are in, and any of us could have been in or could be in at any time. So having that perspective and being grateful, I think, for all the experiences, even the not so hot ones. Um, it's important. It's important, but it's definitely important to focus and celebrate on the meaningful points in your life where you can look back and reflect and be proud and think about new heights too that you maybe want to reach as well. I could not have imagined talking to, like, oh, like, let's just go back 20 years, like 11-year-old Tom, and being like, bruh, you're gonna like figure out this moving out shit. You're gonna, learn how to transfer, dude, because you've already been paralyzed for the better part of a decade, and you still have never done an independent transfer, bro. I would have like looked at future Tom and be like, dude, I don't know, man, that seems kind of crazy. Like I couldn't imagine, moving out to Southern California, different part, the state, away from my family, away from friends, away from my people, and doing what I did in terms of like, living independently and still being alive 10 years later and relatively healthy. You know, there's certainly some uh, positive things to think back and reflect on. I think the first time I did an independent transfer, that was really, really big one for me. It's probably like one of the most meaningful milestones in my life. Um, just because it like showed me what could be done or what I could do. Something I thought was like impossible at one point in time. And to think that I've been transferring independently every day for the last 15 years, and the freedom and the independence it opened up for me. After not having done it for the first 14 years of my injury too. I think that's I was thinking about it yesterday after you did the topic, and that was like a really, really big one for me. Um, what about you guys?
Um, I'll go. I guess we'll go in order of age. We got our
All right.
youngster Tom, and but that's what I feel like. For sure, I've had some pretty major milestones too. Like same like you said, Tom. Like you were a kid looking at stuff like how would you ever do these things? I was 21 and like 22. Even those first few years, I didn't have a very good outlook on like what my future really could be, what I could accomplish, what I could do, like living on my own. Even those first couple of years, like the thought of driving was like, the hell, like it just seemed like I was far from that. And even though I had seen like pictures of Bobby doing it, I knew he did stuff like that, but I kind of pushed away from the community in Bobby the first couple years, I think, and didn't really want to hear any of that stuff. So I do feel like one of my major ones was also when I did uh, like kind of accept it. That was like a major milestone in my life, like accepting my life as is, and that was when moving forward became a lot easier. And and then even now, like I feel like I'm still just accepting things like in my own personal like issues and things I've had in my life. And
Can I speak on a story that you told me once, Sean?
sure.
Um, you told me this story on how you're like early in your injury, and you were like laying in bed or something, and the I think it was like the sliding door was closed or something like that. You told me you were like super uncomfortable or you were super thirsty or like something was just out of reach or something. And gosh, I wish I remember the details of the story better. But you told me like yeah, you like figured out how to close the door, you figured out how to get your water or something, and you that was like one of your first moments that you like fuck I could do this shit like like I figured that like I accomplished that thing. And like you said it was like a big thing that helped kind of the snowball effect of discovering your independence and learning some things. Like, can you remind me about that story?
Yeah, I think if I recall right, that was I think I couldn't reach something, and I think it was the water, and I basically made my own little reacher or something, and I was able
That,
to like be
yeah,
able
yeah,
to
yeah,
pull something. Like I just like kind of adapted something and was able to get something for myself that I kind of thought was out of my reach or out like I wasn't going to be able to get until somebody came to help me.
yeah,
And then I think that that really was like once I was figured that out, I was like, oh, I could figure all kinds of stuff out like this. Then like it was just like I could adapt different stuff and do different things. Like that'll work. And so yeah, that was kind of like it was just that snowball sort of effect to where I was just like, even if I, but previously would have had major doubts I could do something, I took it as a challenge. Like, all right, now I'm gonna figure this out. I guess like it might take me 6 hours
yeah.
to do this stupid ass thing, but I'm gonna sit here and do it till I do it.
I even remember like when that like flip switched in my brain too, where it was like, okay, like everyone was like trying to tell me how to do everything or like just helping me do everything. But once I kind of realized like if I thought about it or like got a little creative or was like enabled and like set up in the correct way, like I could do a lot of these things myself. Like I remember the first time I like held my wrist up, my dad was like, I'll crack a pistachio for you and like put it in your hand if you could like hold your wrst up. And I worked so hard to be able to like support and hold my wrist up because it would just flop. It would just like flop forever. And I don't know, little things like that, you know, like realizing my strength, realizing like the potential, like, oh, like realizing like things aren't maybe necessarily stuck the way I thought they were. It's like, oh, if I could exercise, if I could repeat this task enough, if I could do this enough, you know, I can like learn and figure out and overcome these things, you know, like I once thought was impossible. And it was like really big transcendental moments in life. Bobby, did you have anything like that?
I wish I could look back and say that I did. Um, but the milestones that
Me too. Okay, guys, I think we are back. Sorry about that technical difficulties. My internet is having some issues today. Sorry about that, you guys. My internet crashed,
Are we back,
mhm.
baby?
but we are back and we are back online. So
All right, homie, I'm gonna call Spectrum and complain
I know,
that they're interrupting the Live to Roll broadcast.
I know,
Um,
Thought they were the
there
especially
will
they were
be
because
supposed to
I
be
pay
number
there
extra
one.
for
w-
the faster internet.
there will be consequences. Um,
How much do you pay
Bobby, I
for
think you were
internet,
talking.
Shawn?
um, I'll have to check. It's like it's like 40, $50.
Okay, okay. As long as you're not paying too
Oh,
much.
we're live, right?
Well,
We're live, you guys. So
what's
yeah,
Yep,
that?
we're back on here.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
Sorry about
we're
that
live.
once
Awesome.
again.
We're back live. We got a lot of
Um,
people watching. Milestones. That's because that's what we were talking about. But I don't have a moment when it all just clicked. I just think over time it was just clicking little by little. But what I love about anniversaries, and I cherish every single one of them, is that it's a time to look back at where I have started and where I am today, kind of like a birthday and or kind of like looking back on New Year's Eve and you go, well, last year was this and that, and you want to change some things, and some you do and some you don't. And that's how I kind of look on my anniversaries. And more so, I take it in like every 5 year chunks. And, where was I 5 years ago and where I am today? And there's not too many times that I can look back that it was that bad. I would say this, even coming up on 35 in March, if I look back when I hit 30, really it was a lot of ups and downs with some health issues. Man, I am spotty with, but you guys can hear me clear, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
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 Yeah.
yeah.
Um, a lot of health issues, but then a lot of fun kind of things that I did with my hand cycle, pushing during COVID, some success with work stuff, and just personal stuff that that put a good stamp on my last 5 years. And I hope from 35 to 40, I don't make plans, but I just take it every 5 years to say, okay, 5 years was health. Okay, what can I change about that? And I'll look at it and see what I can make for changes. More vitamin C, more, a couple more zinc, so maybe I might not get sick as easily. Um, you know, you know,
What do you want to
keep
achieve in
on
the next 5 years?
Just
there's nothing like
I mean,
the
health and
next 5 years.
happiness can be a goal too, But
Good question. I I haven't made plans yet. I haven't made plans. Taking it one day at a time. When I get to the time of I hit 40 years in a chair or close to it, then I'll look back and see, what mistakes I have made and what mistakes I have learned and what things I have conquered. And that's how I've kind of always set myself up for. And especially when I hit the 20 years in a chair, which was way past my that level of, you say, 50 50.
50-50.
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, 50 years in a chair, 50 years of your life. And everything seems like just extra credit for me. And but at my 20-year anniversary of being paralyzed, it was coming up, and I was working out in the gym a lot. And before I got my job at Rancho, I was just like, you know what, I want to do like this triathlon in the gym. And everyone looked at me kind of strange, and they're like, what do you mean? And I said, well, if I get on this machine called the Vitaglide and I'm going back and forth, and I do a mile swimming in a triathlon, then if I get on the stationary bike and it counted your miles, and I went 26.2 miles, that would be like doing this cycling in a triathlon. And then I get on the next step, which was a stepper machine where you move your arms and then you put your feet on these platforms, and then you go, and the six it counted how many miles you were going in steps, and I would have to go 6 miles. So I'm going to do this in the gym, and I trained, and then I made a decision to raise money, and I raised close to $10,000 on my 20th anniversary and went in on the gym. It was a Saturday, and it took me 4.5 hours to do this indoor triathlon. And, that was my, stamp on my 15 to 20 years of saying,
I would
you did it. You're still moving on.
I would say that's a very admirable milestone. I mean, to think that
it's
you could, achieve like to do a marathon. I know you were an athlete in that capacity before your injury. To
Mhm.
be 20 years after the fact, able to still do it, if not the same way you did, I'd say maybe in even more impressive fashion, considering you know what you've got to overcome to do it. Um, that's that's something, dude. And that's very cool. Um,
Yeah.
it's something
And then
to
I didn't even
like
need, and
really
then when I
celebrate
hit,
and
when I
recognize.
hit my 50th birthday, I went out and I pushed a half marathon for myself. I'm like, at 50, I'm going to push 13.1 miles. And, took a lot of training and I did it. And so I look at those kind of things, but that's for myself. And that's how it makes me feel, I guess, warm and fuzzy that I accomplished those things because, like you said, Tom, I was an athlete before. So it makes me feel, I guess, whole again or normal or back to that's where my brain just and my heart just functions. It functions in endurance, uh, endurance competition. And my competition has never been about anybody else. It's always been about myself.
Well,
And I
I'm sure
think that's why.
you motivate and inspire a lot of people, which is very non-selfish part of it. I think I know like it probably feeds your soul and does a lot for you, but I think it is definitely a very inspiring thing for a lot of other people too to see that and get that spark to realize the potential within themselves, because it's the magical thing about stuff like that. Mr.
Yeah.
Soto, 50
Yes, sir.
years in the chair, 70 years around the sun almost, my guy. So, um, what what are some milestones in your life? What are some achievements in your life? I mean, you are a very impressive, inspiring individual. We got to work on your vegetable intake, but that's okay. You're obviously
Yeah,
looking good,
never,
so I
never,
can't talk.
never.
I can't talk. But
No
what are some
vegetables.
milestones in your life? Some things you're proud of?
Um, well, I'm if I look back at it, what I remember, because there's a lot of stuff I have forgotten, and that's seriously, just um, I I I feel good. My milestone is me being here today and surviving that 50. When I got hurt 19, 20 years old, I had no clue I didn't look at the future about, oh, now I'm going to be this age, this age, this age in my chair. I was, along with Bobby, it's a determination for yourself. That self-accomplishment, self-determination, uh, is what it's all about for me. And I think that's what I was about prior, even though I was a young man, I was still living at home. Um, I had aspirations. I raced motorcycles. I was going to school, worked, and I partied. That was my that was my life. And so I set my first thing once I got hurt, and I know I don't have many pictures. I know Shawn was asking me for some pictures. I have
Yeah.
some pictures of me racing the day I got hurt, and an actual picture of me just a few minutes after my spinal cord injury. So I found that one time on the internet and could not believe I found it. Oh, that's a little bit later
Dang,
one,
look at that handsome young man.
but
Woo! Can you say
there's some.
70s, baby?
There's a
Like
chair, that
those
old
jeans,
stainless
baby.
stainless. Look
Dang,
at
look at those
stainless
pants,
sports
Woo!
dude.
chair,
Those
bell
pants.
bottoms.
Bam!
And here's
Bell
what's funny.
bottom.
Yeah, now see those boots? Those were attached to braces. So whenever I put braces on, those boots were on, and you had to find pants that were wide leg to where they pull over the brace because the foot didn't move, or you had to find
Wow.
pants with the things so you could put the pants on first, put the braces under, and then try to roll the pants down. So, but what's funny too on that chair, if you look at the foot plates, there's those anti-rollers that they used
Oh
to
yeah,
have.
I see those.
Oh, yeah. In case you went forward.
Look
Yeah,
at that
Wow.
right. And so
old ass
that was that
wheelchair. That's
stainless
crazy.
chair. So it comes with the arm rest. So you pull those out because they had little slide loops on the side, and then the back, you cut the handles off, and that was the big thing there, just to get it all lightweight and all that. But that was a chair right before I got the quadra chair. But that was like in '75 or something like that, '76, who knows? But anyway, the determination for me was, my first milestone, I believe, for me was setting that pace for me to get up on my crutches and braces. My story has changed since then, but walking, getting on those braces was important to me. But look at this. Look at the
Yeah,
pants. Is that a cracker?
No, it looked like a dress to me.
that's That's
Bell bottoms, man.
it's a it,
Dungarees.
it's
This
a
is
vibe.
70s,
It's a
man.
It's a
vibe. That's for
vibe.
sure,
I'm
dude.
going with Tom on
It's a vibe. I'm digging it, honestly.
that.
Look at that glorious hair too. My God.
I know
Um,
those
what
locks,
a
man.
time. What a time.
But
So funny.
so that was my milestone. Was able to get on the crutches. I mean, I worked hard at it too. It had to be one of the hardest things in my life, looking back, to actually get at it. But being younger, the determination, the resilience, to go for it, was hard, but I did it, and that was a big accomplishment for me. Looking back now, my values of that has changed because, um, I'm still battling the bladder and bowel, no matter what, man. That was always there. So but looking back, I try not to look back too much. I mean, right now it's just reminiscing and things like that. When I do look back, um, I don't like to look where my mistakes were because I probably made a lot of them. And just, my thing is my surviving. The things that I chose to do, I survived, whether right or wrong,
Well,
and that's
we
important to
are
me.
we are defined by the mistakes we make in life because those are the moments that teach us the most, and you know, also like define us. I think in a lot of ways, how we respond to those mistakes and
Well, that's
overcome
exactly,
them,
yeah,
because it's
response.
impossible to go through life without fucking up sometimes. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Not letting yourself be defeated by those mistakes, learning to overcome them in a positive fashion. And, that's even freaking feels impossible sometimes. But it's funny. You know, uh, Looking back, I think it's important to reflect on those too and not forget about those things, um, for sure. But here's a big one for me. I think it's a milestone for a lot of young adults. Moving out. Moving out wasn't something that I thought I could ever do, um, until I did it. And sometimes I still trip out at doing it 10 years later, because it's hard. It's been really hard. It's taught me a lot. I'm still learning and overcoming some things that come along with it. New things, new obstacles.
Oh
It's
no.
something that was really huge and important for me, though. It took years of work, to get to the point where I could even think about doing it. It took a year of work, actually doing it. I mean, like a full year, like every day doing something, whether it was like not just that was like after learning, the transfers and the self catheterizing and cooking and feeding myself and getting everything and stuff like that. But I don't know, figuring out how I was going to afford it, figuring out and finding a accessible apartment, transitioning my medical from Northern California to Southern California, changing all my doctors and everything, finding and organizing care for the first time ever in my life after doing like having my family there all the time. I remember some months, like this was back when phone plans had like limited minutes. Like we would run out of minutes on our family plan because my mom and I would be on the phone so much every day with insurance companies and the rigmarole and like trying to figure out and organize all this stuff. And it wasn't just like my time too, it was like a lot of my parents' time. Um, and I did it. Um, I did it. I have like changed and grown a lot in that time, and I'm still successfully doing it. But it was one of those moments and one of those things that like really defined who I am. It helped like hammer me into like the person that I've become, uh, at this moment in time. And it's something that I'm still like working really hard at to ensure that I can continue to do this for ever or for as long as I can, hopefully. And there's been a lot of change and growth and a lot of milestones in that journey since I've been on my own to continue to be able to. But that was probably one of the biggest ones in my life. I mean, outside of and like going to school in the midst of all that, like everything else that comes along with life and all the medical, stuff that I've had to figure out and overcome, and bladder issues and bowel care and everything. Oh man, it's a trip. It's a trip to think back on, but that was a huge one.
Yeah, I can
Yeah, man,
imagine.
that's big.
I can imagine. How old were you?
I was 20. I moved out. I
20.
moved out a month before I turned 2 months before I turned 21.
Okay.
But my mom, she lived with me for that first month, kind of helping me figure out my transition in care and stuff. So I don't really feel like that first month counted too much, but yeah, once she left, man, that was it, and that was the trip, and it's been a trip. It's really cool to have been able to do it though, and like overcome it and be successful at it for as long as I have been, because there have been some moments
So,
in this last 10 years where I was struggling really hard, and I was like wondering, one, like what the heck I was doing trying to figure out this shit in the first place, and two, like whether I was gonna be able to maintain it. You know.
and Tom, what was that first night like when you're after your mom? That first month, and your mom was like, "All right, I'm out. First night on your own." Like,
Um,
I just I
it
can
was
imagine
crazy. I
first
remember
night just
it
being
was in
rough.
this room. It was in this apartment. I remember my parents, they kind of like tossed me in. Like my mom and dad like both came down with me at first. Mom stayed or whatever that first night in the apartment. Um, my parents went. They had a hotel, and they're like, "You want to stay here?" And I was like, um, "Yeah, sure, I guess." And so like they were here in the city, but like I was here alone in this apartment for the first time, and it was barren. There was no furniture, there was no TV, there was no nothing. I just had my bed set up, and oh man, I like remember laying there for a couple hours just thinking about it, thinking about what I was trying to do, thinking about. I don't know, I was feeling really scared, but I was also feeling really excited. Um, I had a lot of plans. I had a lot of plans, like the reasons for wanting to move out. Like I wanted to like date, like have a place to like bring a lady back to. Like I wanted to like have friends over and like have a party and stuff and like get up to like no good. Like I had all these plans and all these like aspirations and like things I had just kind of dreamed about, like in my adolescence, but never really had the opportunity to achieve. And it was exciting. It was a mix of major excitement and like also a lot of fear and anxiety too. Um, like um I was real worried about navigating my bladder and my bowel care, managing my personal care, figuring out all of that. And it did take a ton of time and a ton of work to figure out, but I've been able to do it and balance it pretty successfully, I'd say. It's a constant battle and like an ever changing journey too. Like it's not something that has stopped either. Like even for a minute, it feels like, um, because it's a lot to navigate and overcome, and there's new things constantly popping up all the time, new obstacles in life. But knowing what I have achieved and overcome makes them not really seem too difficult or too scary. Like I don't really get too stressed or too much anxiety anymore. Like if I have to go through a caregiver transition, or like I'm having issues with my bladder and stuff, and like really not feeling bad, and or really not feeling good and feeling bad, and not having like people around 24/7 and stuff. Like I used to get pretty scared and a lot of anxiety, and part of that is having I'd call Emma 24/7, 365, and she'd come over and help me in a hot sec. Like I got other people in my life that are nearby that I know I could fall back onto. Um, but I really do have a lot of pride in, um, you know, overcoming these things and figuring out them the best I can on my own and with my current structure, and just taking the bull by the horns and figuring it out. Um, But everything that I've learned too, all the struggles, all the mistakes, all the failures I've had along the way have like taught me how to better navigate it more effectively in the future. So like now I feel like a pro. Like compared to where I was at, at the beginning of all this, like I I just had to learn a lot of the things that I had and like I have in my back pocket now to be able to use and like know and like have confidence. And like I can navigate pretty much anything.
Yeah, man, that's awesome that you've been able to do that, and I feel like that is really a big milestone step, whatever in like after disability with like once you figure kind of those things out and you are comfortable, confident in yourself that you can navigate your life and figure stuff out. Like so. Oh, we lost your audio, Tom. You're starting to get cracky at the end there, but
Yeah.
um,
Oh man.
but actually,
Yeah.
because of the internet earlier, I was having issues uploading a couple of these pictures. But I do have a couple other Bob pictures that you sent me, or Robert pictures. So I got one of you. Whoops. I got your before one, which is super cool on the bike. Dang it, they're all so big. So that's badass Robert right there on his motorcycle before injury. I think same day, right, Robert?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then this is a cool picture to have. I don't think most of us have pictures like this, but
There
that's
it
you
is.
up at the after your injury, which is crazy.
Yeah. Spinal cord injury
Yeah,
right
right
there.
there.
Wow.
So those are
You
really.
know what
So
the story is with it?
so is there 3 motorcycles there?
It looks like 3 bikes there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But mine is up on the one at the top of the screen. That's my bike.
Okay.
So what happened is,
And
I was in the race. I was leading the race. It just started, and I was in front of everybody, and the bike just, slid out, just normal stuff. But I fell in front of like 15 riders, so like I got hit by everybody. I think, felt like it. But anyway, what's funny about that is that I found it by accident, and so when I first got that, I was just in shock. I didn't feel bad or anything like that. I go, oh my god, we got a picture of it there. Anyway, so I got it, talked to the photographer, his son, because the guy original photographer passed. But anyway, talked to his son, told him I wanted to get a copy of it. So anyway, he got it together, didn't charge me or anything like that. But my family saw it and were really kind of freaked out on it. Because no one really has seen that other than the guys I was with that day see me get hurt. Um, but I felt
and
I felt okay
you
with it.
just
But
found that, like
On the
I
internet.
you
okay,
just
so
found
I
that.
had I had the picture of me racing. I had that picture before. So one day I don't know I was on the internet just like I'm going to check it out and see what look for pictures that day or something like that. So I went in there, saw some other pictures, and so I zeroed it into the day of the races. And I saw that picture of me racing, and then I kept looking and saw that picture of me on the ground. I have that, man. I know. Can you guys hear me? Because it looks like it's
Did it freeze again? You froze. Tom and Bobby? Jesus.
break.
Oh, never mind. Not all the way out.
Okay.
All right, we're back. Not a full drop off.
We're sorry for the internet issues, you guys. We're gonna troubleshoot this throughout the week and figure it out for next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even know what's going on. For some reason, my stupid microphone on my webcam will not work, um, and we're freezing again. Um, but in any event, we don't got to talk about that. Back to you, what you're saying, Mr. Soto.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So my family's the one that responded more about that picture because they just felt really bad. But I felt kind of good about it because I go, that's it right there. That's the picture. I don't have many pictures of me going to rehab or anything like that, but I have that picture, and that picture tells the story right there. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
No, those are great pictures,
so
honestly. That's so
it,
cool.
yeah, it was kind of cool to find that. Like I said, just by chance, by just digging deeper and deeper into the internet, and it was there. It was out there.
'Cause
So
if
yeah,
I'm
I
not
don't have any
mistaken, you
pictures.
just found
What was that?
those pictures like a few years ago, right, Bob?
Like I said, I had the motorcycle picture, me racing. I have had that since I got hurt. My buddies got that developed for me and gave it to me while I was in the hospital. That other picture,
Right.
that
But
second one on me on the ground, that's what I found a few years back. That one was by chance.
and your family was still
That's a
affected by
trip.
seeing it. They're like,
Well, they kind of been rolling with the punches with me all along. But yeah, when they saw that, it was kind of emotional because they were all, "Well, how do you feel about it?" I go, "I feel fine." I think it's great that I found it.
Yeah, I think it's
So
cool. I
they
would
didn't really
love.
know they didn't know how to take it.
Yeah, I would love to find pictures like if somebody had pictures from that day I got hurt at snowboarding, like that would
Yeah.
be super cool if somebody had something, but I don't think there's anything like that. But what I did actually just find, because we've been cleaning out my storage unit, cleaning out a bunch of stuff, I found my original x-rays. And so we actually took a couple pictures of those. I was going to show, these are the, whoops, I accidentally opened it. These are the pre-surgery. You can see my fifth
Oh
vertebrae
man.
where it ended up being aligned to.
Oh
So you can see, yeah, that's the one where they kind of show
wow.
where the
oop,
where it's misaligned there. And then I also got
Yeah.
this one was pre-injury here too, or pre-surgery, um, which again that one is hard to see, but that the fifth one down at the bottom is like pushed out and cloudy and like not very solid. Um,
Yeah.
mhm.
yeah, that's just so those are the pre ones, and then afterwards they fitted me with some nice hardware there.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I got.
Damn, you were
Wow. That's
skinny now.
So yeah,
that's
that's the one
amazing.
side, and then I got one more from the side angle. Um, so yeah, those are my. You see my fillings in there. But yeah, those
Yeah.
are
Really.
that was my
That-
X-rays. I'm checking those
That's
out.
pretty cool to have. I think that's pretty cool to have the X-rays like that, man.
Yeah, so those are cool. And one other picture I found that I thought was kind of cool. Actually, Leah found it here. Is me and Bobby at over the line, like probably I don't know when that was.
Holy,
That was
It's cool.
yeah. So
where was that? Was that Northridge?
that's back when they did it at the CSUN parking lot, at over the
Yeah,
line,
North.
and yeah, in the CSUN parking lot, and yeah, that's it had to have been one of the early years. Um, so I don't know. I think probably maybe 3 years post or something, 3 to 4 years post. I was probably in that picture. But yeah, so Bobby, that's a. I thought that was a pretty cool
Look at those
picture.
jean shorts. Look at those jean shorts,
Yeah,
baby.
you look at your.
Woo!
It's and notice that I have two
Oh
trophies over there. I
man.
got second place and sportsmanship because I think people just thought I was I was new, so and I was happy, so I got the sportsmanship award for the day.
Cool.
But yeah,
You had
To
those are
some.
think
just
that
ones
like
I
I
found.
would be living to think that I'd be living spitting distance from that parking lot however many years after you guys like were chilling over here. Like that's kind of a trip. The world is so small and weird.
Yeah, no, it is.
No,
There it is, your
oh my
backyard.
god, I found a picture of you the other day too. I should have sent it to you, Shawn, and I will find it and send it to you so you can share it. But um, yeah, it's something like that.
That's cool.
Same thing. So keep going, guys, as
But yeah,
I find this picture real quick.
I got those pictures finally uploaded. It took with the internet crashing. It took a second, but I just wanted to share those couple ones because we've been going through. Me and Leah have been cleaning out like a lot of stuff and going through decluttering and going through some of my old stuff and finding the pictures and X-rays and some stuff like that. So it's been cool, kind of fun to look
Yeah.
at. Um,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
Tom, sorry, I don't. I wish we had some early pictures of us. Maybe if I find one, I'll get that up here on one of these.
I got a
Trying to think
bunch.
of when we
I was
first.
just looking at a picture. I was just looking at a picture of us from like 7 years ago at like one of my first Triumph events of you and me. I look fucking goofy on a bike with a goofy ass helmet. and my belly booging out. So I don't know if I want to put it online. But it's still a good picture. Um, yeah, I got a bunch of old family pictures. I have some really great pictures of like me and my dad, my brother, and my cousins and stuff when I was just out of the hospital, like early in my injury.
That would be cool to see.
Tiny little kid. Um, I got pictures just 10 years ago, right before I moved out, when I weighed 50 pounds more, just like a chubby virgin, not knowing what the fuck was going on in life. And um, yeah, that's fun stuff to hang on to. I think the hospital pics are really great. I don't know if we have too many hospital pictures. It was like a pretty traumatic time for my family.
Yeah,
So
you were young.
like, I don't know, like so much that like they were shooting too many pics in the hospital. But there are a lot of pictures of just like being a little tyke with like a full on chest brace.
Oh no.
It's like cool to look at where I'm at now and seeing like, but Shawnee boy, we gotta call Spectrum and figure this out.
I think I just saw a text from my grandma that said that she called them and it's our equipment that is outdated. So not the internet. They're
Okay.
saying it's not them, it's us. So I guess we'll have to
Well,
update.
we got Grandma Velma on the case then. It's gonna be fixed
She's
post haste, I'm sure.
hard.
Um,
But yeah,
but
hopefully we'll get that worked out.
um,
But go ahead, Tom.
reflecting in time. Um, if that's your vibe, it's cool. I think it's really important to be present. Not, I don't know. Sometimes I think, I don't know. Our milestones and our accomplishments can certainly inspire us. I think it's very easily to sometimes get lost in the hardships and the pitfalls and the not so great things that happen in our lives too. And that can overwhelm us and deter our focus and bring us down. Um, being present, being present in mind, being focused on today, what I can do today, right now, to make myself feel good, to do something that I want to do, to work towards a goal in life, to work on over an obstacle that you are currently facing, is a very important thing to remember. Personally, can get pretty bogged down sometimes. I can get really frustrated, really caught up in um, shit, even just being disabled 26 years later. Sometimes like just the fact that I got to deal with this shit every day in and day out, especially on days that it's hard, it can really bring me down. It can piss me off. It can frustrate me. Even having overcome and done all the things that I've done to put myself in the position I am in life, I can still get brought down by it sometimes. Um, because it's shitty sometimes and it's really freaking hard all the time. And helping keep that perspective, it can be really hard. It can be really hard. Um, even like I said, even having done all that I can do, like I still get super tired and super frustrated. And I'm just wondering when it's gonna get easier and if it's ever gonna get easier. And why isn't it getting any easier? It just seems to all be getting harder and harder and harder. I still work really hard to continue to stay happy and healthy, to continue to overcome the obstacles in front of me. And I do that because I can't give up. I don't want to give up. It makes me feel good, even it makes me feel good to struggle, even as hard as that struggle is. A lot of the time, my friends and my family, the people close to me, help inspire me and help keep me going and keep me moving forward. I really want to work to make my parents proud. because they've worked so hard and sacrificed so much to put me in the position I am today. So I work super, super hard for myself to feel good and make myself feel good, but also to help make those in my life proud that have like worked so hard to provide this opportunity for me as well. And that's what keeps me on course a lot and gives me a lot of drive and a lot of focus to stay healthy and stay at it and stay hungry and keep pushing myself to new heights. I often think about what the next 30 years of my life are going to look like. I'm 31 right now. I'd really like to make it to 60. I'd like to make it beyond. 60 for me is going to look like 56 years as a quadriplegic. I don't even know what that's going to be like. I don't know how hard that's going to be. Um, it scares me a lot to think about the last couple of years in particular. Thinking about my body and my function and my pain and all that stuff and how hard it is right now, what that might look like even 20 years from now. And honestly, it scares the fucking shit out of me. And it's really put me on this journey of going back to rehab and working on myself and working on my body and working on my mind as well so that I can maintain a healthy perspective and not get taken down by that anxiety and that fear that comes along with some of those thoughts and some of those feelings.
We should all kind of, that's a good way to start wrapping the show, kind of like where we're kind of goals for the next 5 years or where we outlook is. 30 years is a little bit, you're looking way out there, Tom, but what about for like the 5 year mark? Like Robert, what do
It's not
you?
that far out, man. It's not
No,
that
it's
far
not,
out.
but it'll come faster than you know. I know that's just like, I can't believe 20 years has passed since my injury. Like, it's crazy to think about. And for me, like the next 5 years, I feel like I'm just trying to still do some of my own personal growth, um, just in my life mentally. Now getting married, trying to build a life. Um, like I feel like in the next 5 years, my goals are just to be happy, healthy, my family, and hopefully have Live to Roll be big enough to to be rolling pretty good and be something that's a staple in the community. So
We talk about, what is the next 30 years or what is the next 5 years? I mean, to be living fuck out of me.
Yeah, I feel you.
And, my motto is, hey, take one day at a time. If I try to look more into the future, it is an anxiety, portion to our life. All we have to do is live for today. And, tomorrow will come. And when that morning comes and you open your eyes, you make the best of it, for what you can. Yeah, we plan for financial, we plan for stability, we plan for our health, our meal prep, whatever you want to call it. But really each and every day we just try to live and conquer just the day. And when at the end of the day, when you're crawling down to shut your eyes, you know, look back at your day and say, okay, we made it through this. Let's get through tomorrow, whatever it may come.
mhm. That's good, man. It is. I mean, yeah, taking it one day at a time is good, but I do want to. I'm just hopeful for a future and being happy.
Oh, but if you do that, guess what? Each day will keep building on. It's kind of like, one of the marvels of the universe that I would always love to go see or seven wonders of this world would be to see the China Wall.
The
You know
Great
how
Wall.
long that took to the Great Wall? You know how long that took? Didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen in somebody's lifetime. It happened in several people's lifetime. Leave a mark on this world that hopefully we can continue to expand on that on that wall.
That's perfect, man. Well said, Bobby. Robert, do you have any looks for your or thoughts about? I know you got your real big milestone coming up here soon.
Yeah.
How you feeling about turning 70? Are you excited for your future?
I never really been much about anything on birthdays and stuff. It's just kind of, I mean, I celebrated them here and there, but it's 70 just kind of matters a little more. It's more differently or more. It's more of a different feeling this time because I think because of the 50 years in a chair that I never even thought about that. And then now that I'm getting older, I feel pretty good about it because it's like an accomplishment for me. I survived all this crap, and still here to tell about it. You figure when I retired, you start setting up financial planning and all that kind of stuff, and they always ask you how long you're going to be in retirement. So I pushed it to about 88 years old. So that's only, I mean, it's like 15, 16 years from now, I'll be 86. So I mean, I may get a little more skittish when I get closer to that. But 5 years from now, if I look at myself, I just want to get myself a little healthy, pay a little bit more attention to my health. And I know Bobby doesn't like to hear this. I like doing nothing. I like to do what I want to do. And if it's nothing for the day, I do nothing for the day. And so I'm good with that. And that's what makes me happy. There's nothing better for me. Like if I'm just doing nothing today, I want to kick back and take a nap. And when you're in that, I've worked so hard more than 40 years of my life, 44, whatever it was. And I worked hard. I know we all work hard, but the stress and pressure, when I retired, that went away. And I feel good. And it's nice to do what I want to do and enjoy my life. Just do it a little bit healthier now.
Oh, that's great.
All right.
Yeah,
Who wants to go ahead, Tom? If you want
for
to
the
do.
next, I was gonna say for the next 5 years, like I'm excited to contribute as much of myself as I can to our community, not just like the SCI community, but like the disabled community, to work more towards equity and inclusion, accessibility, for everybody. You know, um, I'm really excited about that, and I'm excited to like dedicate lots of my energy and my time because it just gives me like so much fulfillment and so much happiness to work towards that and to do that. And then money, women, and weed, baby. That's it.
Oh,
That's pretty much all
that's
else I care
Tom's
about.
5 year
That's a
goal.
decent 5 years. That's a 5 year goal, baby. Let's fucking go.
All right, man. All right. Well, who wants to do the sponsors for the show, you guys? We are getting.
We're gonna let
Let's
Robert.
go,
I think
Robert.
we
You
should
got
let
that
Robert
lead.
do it.
Robert's got
I
that
hyped you
lead.
up,
For
so it's
sure.
better
We
be
usually
good.
don't have a guest do it, but you're a live to roll host, so you're not.
Okay. All right. So let's see if we can get through this. Want to thank our sponsors, mobility professionals and urology professionals. Like I always say, they're a good group of people, experts that are part of the community. They show up to all these events and participate, and are a great group of people that are friends. Mobility Professionals provides wheelchairs and rehab equipment. They're here in Southern California, provide all over the nation.
Nope.
So give them a call, check and see if they work with your insurance company. They understand what we need, and I know I deal with other companies, and it's nothing that's
So shout out, thank you guys. We appreciate our sponsors. And then for the rest of the week, we got Mr. T Fizzle, Tom doing gaming your Wednesday. Last week I missed because I was doing the Ballard Rehab Group. Sorry, Tom. I do the support group
Tomorrow
locally
you're gonna
here,
miss because it's your anniversary
and
and
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
be
be up in
coming
the
back from
mountains,
Big Bear
and that's
tomorrow.
okay, Sean, because
Well,
I love you and I
I'm gonna
forgive
try to
you.
hop on when I get
So
back and
don't
at least
worry
give you the
about it.
like and everything, bro. I'll do that.
That's all I.
But
That's
I am
all.
going to
That's all
Big
I
Bear
ask.
tomorrow, celebrating my 20th anniversary out there. But catch
right on.
Tom T Fizzle Gaming every Wednesday. He'll be on at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check it out, you guys. And then we actually have something. Whoops, dang, I can't not something real special for you guys this week. We have our new show debuting, Rolling with the Golden Oldies this Thursday. So we got the ladies coming on, going to be sharing some stuff. They're actually this month's topic for them is, since we have Valentine's Day coming up, is love, marriage, and sometimes divorce. So that is actually they're going to be talking about real life because they've all basically experienced a lot through life, experienced a lot through disability. They have a ton of knowledge and things to share. So check them out this Thursday, 3 p.m. They will be on. And the first Thursday of the month, every month from now on, they're going to be on. And then we'll, of course, be back every Tuesday, 3:30 p.m. We'll be on with you guys, talking some good stuff. Next week, we actually are going to be talking about public transportation. So Tom is, I think, an expert on that as well. You guys get the got a week to prepare. So we got a guest coming on that has even gone down out of the country and gone to TJ using public transportation. So we're going to hear all kinds of stuff. Goes to LA all the time, my friend Ken. And then that'll be a great show. And then next Thursday, we have Rolling Over the Hill again with these guys. Bobby, Robert, Luis. Tom's not quite rolling over the hill yet. You got some years still.
Not quite yet.
You got it.
Give me a couple of years.
Well,
thank you to everybody for our diehards hanging through our little technical blunders today as the stream freezes again on us for the millionth time. I'm going to get this mic off. Otherwise, we'll host it from somebody else's computer or something. But we just, I want to say thank you guys for hanging with us. Listen to this one on Spotify this week instead of watching.
Thank you, Tom. That was my last one. So yeah, anywhere you get your podcast, we are available. We all this year's shows are up from both the Tuesday, Thursday lives, and then we'll have this one up in the next day or two on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Anywhere you download and listen to your podcast, we are available. So look us up. We're the Live to Roll network on
than what we've been dealing with for the last hour. So whatever they're watching, they're not getting all the choppiness and the stalls that we are getting.
Okay,
it looks way smoother.
All right, really? Well, thank you. I do hope the stream came out okay, and we do appreciate you guys sticking with us through it. We'll have to double check the audio for Spotify and all that, but I do appreciate you guys sticking with us. And thank you guys for joining today. And Live to Roll, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.
All right. See you guys.